Greetings from Owen Field from the Tulsa World OU Sports Extra Team. I am Nate Feken, joined by Eric Bailey and Mason Young after the Sooners' 50-20 win over Iowa State. An impressive win kind of in the second half there for both sides of the ball. Offensively, it looked like Dillon Gabriel had a really good game. A bunch of different people stepped up, made plays for the offense. Mason, what did you see?
Yeah, 366 yards, 5 total touchdowns. He was 67% completions. Not as efficient as he's been some other games, but still really, really solid. I think the thing that continues to impress me most about Dillon Gabriel is he continues to open up more things for OU on the ground. It seems like he's just running with a different edge this year. It may not be a lot of yards. He only had 30-some-odd yards tonight, but he had 2 touchdowns, and on both of those plays, he was fighting through contact, and then he was talking some smack to the defender that he trucked afterwards. So he's obviously playing with a lot of confidence right now, whether it's throwing the ball or it's running the ball.
I think he told us afterwards his dad used to coach basketball and talked about it was an and one type play where he could scream and one after he ran over the guy down there. Another kind of looking ahead a little bit, a transfer from Texas showed up today. What'd you kind of see from him? It seemed like he cut, as Brent Venables talked about afterwards, he told his mom before the game, hey, your son's going to get the ball today.
Yeah. Brendan Thompson got his first game action for the Sooners this season. Obviously transferred in from Texas over the offseason. Had a 52-yard catch in the first half. Was in double coverage and was able to stay underneath the guys that were on top of him and find his way back to a ball that Dillon Gabriel underthrew a little bit, but made the catch. Great play. And you talked about it, Nate, but he just brings speed unlike anyone else on this OU offense has. I mean, obviously Jalil Farouk and Andrell Anthony, the starting receivers on the outside, are both really fast, but Thompson takes that to another level. And for him to come back from the ankle injury that kept him out of the first 4 games, he got cleared last week, he said, for him to now come back to be getting in a rhythm and ready to go play against his former team next week, I think that's really big for OU on the offensive side of things.
Right. You got to imagine the juices are going to be flowing for him this whole next week. Looking forward to that, and I'm sure he's probably getting some DMs and texts from his buddies down south. Eric, defensively, they didn't take long to make their presence known against Iowa State.
Third play of the game.
Right.
Billy Bowman, 44-yard interception return for a touchdown. It was funny. Last week after the Cincinnati win, I asked Brent Venables point blank, are you comfortable with us labeling this defense as a dominant defense? Brent Venables, no, not yet. No. He was quick to say no. And after that third play, I'm like, this is a dominant defense. Quickly we found out not yet. This defense struggled in the first quarter, gave up the two biggest plays of the season, a 51-yard touchdown pass. They gave up a 67-yard touchdown pass. It was 21-20 with 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. And the 20 points is the most points they've allowed all season. And there were still 9 minutes to go. And we were really bracing ourselves for a 48-45 game, kind of the Lincoln Riley era.
Exactly.
We were looking at it again. But after Oklahoma gave up 20 points with 9 minutes to go in the second quarter, they only allowed 88 yards to the rest of the game. They settled down. They made their adjustments. Brent Venables mentioned it too. They really calmed themselves. They played with poise.
You talked about making plays. A Tulsa guy making a big play again. What did you think about Gentry Williams? It seems like his development, he makes a big play almost every week now.
So impressed with the way he does it. And it's not just only the interception that he made. It's also the way that on those screen passes, he's playing physical. He's shucking defenders and getting to the ball players, making tackles for loss. I mean, he's really playing at a different level right now. And here's a guy that was injured last year, really didn't get to show what he could do. Now he's playing with so much confidence, and he's really complimenting Woody Washington on the other side. Those two cornerbacks are playing at a different level, and it's something Oklahoma hasn't had in so long, cornerbacks that can really hold their own, and it's allowing those interior players to make plays, that defensive line to make plays, and it's really coming together. And I think with Gentry Williams, the way he's playing, it's really exciting to see. Booker T. Washington high school kids, you should be proud.
Yeah, I think so. Moving ahead, Brent Venables said tonight, they ain't giving out any trophies for going 5-0, but everybody around here knows what's coming up next. Texas. It's one of the biggest games in a long time with both teams coming in undefeated, both ranked very high. What do you think maybe the early thing for you going in this game next week?
You know, we got a lot of coach speak today. I asked Jeff Levy a question. Have you thought of this game since walking out of the Cotton Bowl? I said he's coached in this team, coached in this game. He was a student assistant coach in the early 2000s. He's been around this game a lot, and he played it just like a coach would. Hey, it's just another game. We're going to work on it. We're going to see what we can do. Well, he has a healthy Dylan Gabriel. He has a healthy quarterback. It's not like last year when he didn't know who was going to quarterback this game. 49-0 stings, and it stings this roster. It stings Brent Venables. It stings Jeff Levy. So I'm really curious to see what's going to happen when they go out there. This team's playing with a lot of confidence on offense after scoring 50. It's going to be a top 10 matchup probably. Game day, more than likely. I haven't seen it, but we're almost sure that game day will be there. There's going to be a lot of pageantry going into this game. This is the first time the teams are undefeated since 2011, and I didn't realize it's been, 12 years since these teams have been undefeated going into this game. That's a long time for these two teams, so got a lot of build-up this week, so it's going to be exciting.
Yeah, I know I work with a student who works on game day, and I guess they were already talking about the state fair and getting the corny dog and all that whole thing. Dylan Gabriel, you mentioned him, was asked about that game and being sidelined last week, and he jokingly went, I don't remember anything from that game. No, I do. But Mason, what are you kind of looking forward for that game and just everything that it brings?
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is what comes after that game, right? Like you look at it and you think about how the outcome is going to affect the rest of the season, really. I mean, this is both teams' Super Bowl. Whoever wins, if Texas wins, they're solidified as a national championship contender. If OU wins, they insert themselves into that conversation. You look at both sides of the quarterback matchup. Both guys are pretty high in the Heisman odds right now, but whoever wins on national TV on an ABC broadcast with College Game Day, whoever plays better, they just up their chances that much more.
Make sure to keep up with everything Tulsa World OU Sports Extra for complete coverage of the Red River rivalry and all things OU leading up to that. That'll wrap things up from here from Owen Field. I am Nate Feken, joined by Eric Bailey and Mason Young. Keep watching.